And now their offense is moving again. A deep shot up there for number 18, Sterling Kanaki. And he makes the grab, very contested, to number 42, and they rule that a goal for Chase Marty. And as you look at that, Madison completes their upwind huck. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're Madison. And that's very unusual for a first play. There's that double team. 4 players near the disc there, but that allows Minnesota to find some space. Charles Weinberg takes the deep shot. Rocco Linehan is down there, but caught by Tony Paletto for the goal. Nice way to get back your momentum. Here's Jack Kelly. Makes a smart dump there instead of forcing deep, but now they go for it. And there's Jimmy Kittleson, but he cannot make the D. And what a play. And if you want to see boxing out to the highest effect, that's exactly what you're looking for. Back to Christian Johnson. Had Vinoka on the far side, but makes a shorter play to Hearn. And a nice layout there by Dylan DeClerc to save the possession there. And here's Vinoka with a hammer and finds Charlie McCutcheon with a nice celebration there. KPS was sniffing out that disc, trying to go for that layout.
He was. He is all over in that handler space. Now he's following Jurek deep, though.
And here's that goal attempt, and KPS can't track that. Cole Jurek with the catch there, assist by the man you just mentioned, Will Brandt.
Yeah, and it almost looked like.
But now back to Roy. He's got time, 10 seconds left. Need to get the disc down, and it might be time to take the shot, as here they go. Minnesota's got a man deep. Evades the layout by KPS, and there is number 18. Charles Weinberg gets his revenge over a previous play there by KPS, and that is a score right before halftime. Still 3 seconds left, but 11-8.
Yeah, it was a great deep look. Probably a little rushed onto it.
Absolutely, and now some nice space here for Weinberg in the middle. Looks for the reset there to Roy. And a risky pass there. Nick Vogt unable to come up with that. Now Madison has a man streaking.
And one big difference that we see there, Nick was looking for the foul call. It didn't happen, but he got up a lot quicker than what kind of some of the calls were happening in week 1, where people were just standing around looking for the foul calls.
And that's right. And the man who, of course, got the D being KPS. And that leads to a Madison score and a Madison break.
Oh, yeah, that thing just bladed a little bit more than we thought it was going to due to the wind, and it just dropped it out. I thought Linehan was going to have the speed to get there, and then it looks like the wind just knocked it down, and he wasn't able quite to get there.
Absolutely, and a risky throw by KPS here out of his own end zone. McCutcheon with the D, and now Minnesota has a chance to redeem themselves, but another D.
Yeah, we just roofed that throw, and it just skied above everything.
And it was Marks with the D there.
Did Brett Matsuka just lay out block the start of that throw?
He did, proceeding to cause the Madison cutter to dive headfirst for that disc out of bounds and into a side. You've been out there that long, you have to be gassed.
You would, but I believe both teams ended up switching in different players. This looks like it might be more of our O-line, and I'm guessing Madison sent their D-line out.
And that's another goal. Weinberg, scorer of that.
Yeah, they've kind of been floating around with it with that zone. With a zone, you typically do want to throw more of a horizontal stack because you can have some better options off when it gets swung around.
Absolutely, and there's Rocco Linehan looking deep. Disc holds up, and there's a play, a 50-50 disc, and he comes down with it, and that is huge.
Again, it's just... That was actually some great communication by Madison to say, I've got this disc, and I'm bringing it down.
And here's another one. Luo over, and almost a D by Minnesota, but Avery Johnson of the Radicals comes down with it despite the heavy contact there.
And we're just seeing constant filling in from the Minnesota wind chill players. It's not always a handler back in that backspace. We've seen Nick Vogt. We've seen other cutters fill into that space.
Oh, and what a play by Jurek. And the spike is deserved after that catch.
It definitely was. In the face of 2 Madison defenders, he hauls it down.
And now pressure scenarios. Will Brandt over to Roy. Looks towards the end zone. And a score right at the end. A scooper there to the corner by Roy.
Oh, that ref gave me a heart attack. I was waiting for the call. They wanted to add a little bit of drama to this thing. Waiting for it. Finally, they call it. The crowd was waiting for the call.
You wonder if Madison's going to start looking for some deep shots, or do they believe that their defense can force a turn here at some point? But speaking of turns, there is Dylan DeClerc.
Speaking of Dylan DeClerc, I just in my head said, when is Dylan going to get his next layout D? There it is, right there. It's a beautiful play.
And how about that? Bookends, gets the D, scores the goal by Dylan DeClerc, and he is hyping up the crowd. I am so excited to see this replay. First, a magnificent layout D, and then waits for that disc to come down. But here's the D, and Madison shuts off KPS, who was going deep there. Had some space, and now two players there. Deep. Disc hangs up, though. Mattis jumps up, cannot make the defensive play, and that is a Madison goal. Comes right back and gets it.
And it felt like Minnesota started to rush a little bit during the middle of that point with a couple of those over-the-top looks, but they were able to close it down a little bit and settle themselves down now here for the rest of the possession.
And a layout D there by Marks does not come to fruition as Jurek catches another one in that far corner of the end zone. He is living rent-free.
Immediately, it was one throw, but the second throw wasn't there.
Absolutely, and now here goes Madison trying to salvage a garbage time goal. And that might do it. Over to Weiland. Let's see if he can hang in bounds. He can. Waste no time. 27 seconds left. A 5-goal lead here. A double team, of course. A hammer across the field. Why not? Over to Jurek. And a man wide open in the end zone. Rocco calls him off. Still open, calling for it. And here's Weinberg. Scores with that pass to Roy.